are superior to many other Chinese manufacturers that supply Western companies.
Well, imagination is one of Australia's most underrated business assets. This is according to new research from Canon Australia. Produced in conjunction with the University of New South Wales, the report finds that imagination isn't ranked very highly by either employees or business, yet is fundamentally linked to higher earnings and higher revenue. Joining me now in my studio to talk us through the report is Shane McClelland from Canon Australia. Shane, welcome to the show. Thank you.
Hi, Brooke.
It sounds really interesting. We talk in business about creativity, we talk about innovation, but imagination, what is that as distinct to the other two?
Well, the way we look at it, creativity is about coming up with something new. Innovation is about coming up with something new for business. But at Canon, when we talk about imagination for business, we're talking about, I suppose, conceptual thinking and being able to kind of go beyond that creativity space to think of outcomes and solutions and a vision for the future.
And you found in the research that it's not really highly regarded by businesses, which is interesting, whether it's businesses or, in fact, employees, you found.
Yeah, we surveyed 400 business leaders from across Australia, across multiple industries, and we found when we asked them to rank 15 workplace characteristics, imagination actually ranked last. So it was very low in the view.
If it's not, is it a word not widely used? I mean, if I heard it, I'd say I don't think we use that, or I'm not sure about that one, so I'll put it last on the list.
I think what we think it is that businesses don't actually see the link between imagination and productivity and revenue, and that's why I think that they're not tapping into the imagination potential of their employees.
So there are tangible business benefits that you can kind of put your finger on and say that's why you need more imagination in business.
Well, we were surprised with the report when we had a look at those organisations that were the highest earning revenue organisations. They were the ones that actually said that they do harness and tap into the imagination of their employees.
Right. Are you looking at certain sectors using this much better than others, kind of using imagination very well?
Yeah, we didn't actually look at whether organisations were using it well or sectors were using it well, but what we found with the research was that the retail sector said that imagination is crucial for them, and that was the group that actually said that imagination is the most important.
Tell us about the study that you partnered with the University of New South Wales for. This is some group research which was conducted. Tell us the aim of the research, but also what you found.
Yeah. With imagination being one of our core values at Canon, what we wanted to do was test, is there a role for imagination in learning? So we partnered with the School of Education from the University of New South Wales, got a group of our sales executives together, put half the group through the traditional training methods, and the second group we ran an experiment supervised by the university where we asked them to use the imagination effect. What we found was that those who used the traditional learning methods, their knowledge increased by 29%, but those who used the imagination effect, their learning increased by 63%. So it was a staggering difference.
What are some examples of what that second group did, the kinds of non-traditional learnings, I guess?
Yeah, so part of it was it's around visualising and visualising the success, visualising what the results should be, and trying to conceptualise what it is that they're doing, rather than the traditional method of maybe just reading something and
this is how it should be done.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, okay. What are you suggesting that businesses can actually do to harness the power of imagination, I suppose? I
suppose the first thing that businesses need to do is actually recognise that there is a link between imagination, productivity and revenue, and that's the first thing that businesses need to do. But there are opportunities for them to encourage their employees to use their imagination, to wrap imagination into their learning and development programs and actually start rewarding people for being imaginative, for actually going to that conceptual level and thinking beyond
because that's actually a skill, isn't it? To be able to visualise in the way that you're describing. How do employees almost develop that skill, maybe if they don't think they have it?
I think there's a really important role for an organisation to actually help employees do that. The role for organisations is to actually create an environment and facilitate that so that employees feel comfortable and free to actually go beyond what they would normally do and to think about things differently. Yeah,
Shane McClelland, thank you very much from Canon Australia. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
On imagination, apparently one of Australia's most underrated business assets. That is it for the Tech Report for now. Do stay with us here on Sky News Business. More headlines and top stories coming up here on the channel.
Insight is opportunity. Opportunity is everywhere. Blake Dawson is Ashurst, Australia's new global law firm.
What if a car's individual parts performed in perfect harmony? Introducing the all-new Honda Civic. Symphony in motion. What's next?
Introducing the Target Essentials Kids Long Sleeve Tee. Soft cotton, great for layering, and available in a classic range of colours. Always reliable, always trusted quality. They'll outgrow it before they outwear it. And only $5 every day. Target Essentials, the Target quality you trust at the everyday low prices you love. If it's Target branded, you know it's been Target tested.
I've been working with Yo-Yo Ma for 25 years, and we were friends long before that. We're close. In fact, sometimes he gets a little too close. We simply love working together, creating together. I can't say I know much about banking, but shouldn't it be the same there?
This is Sky News Business, Australia's business channel.
This program brought to you by Saxo Capital Markets. No compromise.
They say success is driven from the top down, but that single position of power can also create havoc and cause irreparable damage. So with the best of intentions, how can leadership outcomes be so different? We look for answers from 12 of Australia's most respected leaders. What will their vast and various experiences, wisdom and personal views bring to an unrestricted and hopefully lively debate on the challenges and responsibilities of leadership? Monday in the premiere edition of State of the Nation.
Challenges that we have to embrace together.
Every time they talk about productivity, they're talking about lower wages for working people.
Because it is very tough work.
Facebook will be worth at least $200 billion.
A free market works best when it's left to be free.
And the takeover would be the biggest ever seen in the industry.
To provide true hotspot returns.
China has long been seen as a potential source of funds.
Analysts were expecting much better figures.
I think 2012 will see the ramp-up of our big project.
We continue to manufacture cars.
We've got to look after those profits.
This is Sky News Business, Australia's business channel.
Solid start. Local shares to kick off the second quarter to the upside after a good showing by the Dow propelled it to its best quarter since 1998. Market mover, China's better than expected PMI report gives the Aussie dollar a big boost, but the manufacturing sector there appears to not be firing on all cylinders at the moment. Mixed reads. And dealing with debt, EU finance ministers beefing up the region's financial firewall as leaders try once again to contain a more than 2-year crisis. And Rate Watch, the RBA tipped to maintain the status quo, but the board still has a lot of factors to consider.
This is Monday Money.
Hello and welcome to Monday Money here on Sky News Business. Thanks for being with us as we look to the day ahead and, of course, the new week on the Australian share market with some great news to kick things off, actually. That's a spy from Friday trading. But we might, in fact, have an even better day on our hands than that. We've seen the China PMI on Sunday lift the Aussie dollar this morning by around 1%. So this 11-month high for the PMI is really going to add to risk appetite today. So that SPY perhaps is feeling a little bit out of date at this point. Going off the other leads that we had in the United States on the weekend, you can of course see that there was more gains for the Dow and the S&P 500 index. We saw for US fund managers also kind of engaging in a bit of end of quarter window dressing. There's always a little bit of that. But positive spending numbers came out and that did help to drive some of the consumer stocks. The Dow then up by around 0.5%. The S&P 500 index rose 12% as they rounded out the quarter. That's the best start to a year in 14 years. So it was undeniably strong. Where to next? I guess it's the question for our guests as we sit now into April. The markets across Europe rising for the first time in 4 days. In fact,